that we keep owning your own and teaching. It's nice personal words. How many of us got to go to the banquet last night? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful banquet. Beautiful speakers, beautiful company, delicious food. Last night we acknowledged 4 individuals. Every year we acknowledge a Muslim man of the year, a Muslim woman of the year, a male youth of the year, and a female youth of the year. Last night we posthumously, and I'm going to ask the individuals if you're in the audience to please stand as I acknowledge you. We did posthumously acknowledge Riyadh Abdullah Nuruddin as the Muslim man of the year. I don't know if his mother is in the audience. Okay. The Muslim woman of the year, Sister Anisa Mohammed. Muslim male of the year, Mutasam Ibn Abdul Wadud. And the Muslim female youth of the year, Atiya Gray. You can give them all a round of applause. Every year I enjoy being a co-host with you, Brother Hassan. You always have wonderful words to share with us. It keeps the spirit going. So I'm going to turn that over to you. That was your cue.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Sister Rafai. Always a pleasure to work with you. Alhamdulillah. How's everyone doing? Allahu Akbar. 25 years, it's big. 25 years, inshallah. And when we plan to be here 25 more years, is that right? That's right, Allahu Akbar. That's right. And how does that work? That depends on us who are here to continue to work to build 1 year at a time. Next year, it gets bigger and bigger. Next year, 5 years, 10 years. We plan it out, map it out. And inshallah, if time progresses 25 years, some will not be here. But inshallah, I plan to be working with you while it's in 25 years. We still working together, inshallah. You know, I plan we're going to still be working together, inshallah, if Allah blesses us with health. And we got some young brothers out in the audience. Who was here? This is their first convention. Who was the brother? This is your first convention. Well, we looked at... We asked for your commitment to be working with us 25 years from now. Can we get that from you? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Imam Mohammed said he asked us to what? To build him a good home, right? Well, we plan to do that. And when we build Imam Mohammed a good home and a good future, we're building a good home and a future for ourselves. Because Imam Mohammed represented those who were struggling and those who came before him. He represented his father. He represented the struggle. All of those who came before him, Nat Turner, all the greats, Frederick Douglass, all of those greats. That's what this community represents, a community of excellence. So we have to be working 25, 30, 100 years from now, even 1,000 years from now. And it works 1 year at a time, and it starts with commitment from committed people. So we thank Allah for your commitment, and we look forward to continue to build. And don't be discouraged by the numbers. Y'all look beautiful out there.
You all look excellent.
You know, Imam Muhammad, he would say, he would look at the crowd, he said, man, it looks like a few, but I see thousands. So don't be discouraged by the numbers, and don't be discouraged by the naysayers who be asking, oh, you went to, it was only a few people there. No, it was thousands of people there. We plan to be here for thousands of years, inshallah. Allahu Akbar.
You know, as you were talking about, you know, the service that we had in the community and the legacy that Imam Muhammad has left to us, you know, it feels good to serve in this community. And the best way that we can represent that excellence is continue, like some of the individuals that spoke on the stage, is to represent ourselves inside the community out there. You know, we want to keep talking about what can we do to bring up and uplift this society, we've already been given excellent teachings.
That's right.
We are the best servants that can go out and uplift this community. But if we don't share that knowledge that we have out there, then they're not going to know about it.
That's right.
Next year, we don't want to just see a few individuals to say this is their first convention. We want to see a lot of individuals. But that starts with us.
Right.
That starts with us sharing. You know, I love it every single time the Mosque Cares tags me on Facebook.
That's right.
They're using me as a vessel to get that information out to my friends. And I have friends, some of them I haven't seen in 20 years that I went to high school with that are back in Michigan, or individuals that I have just come to pass that have befriended me, and I see them like, no matter what nationality they are or what country they are, and they like those posts that the Mosque Cares has tagged me in. That's their way of getting that information out. So let's keep on doing that.
That's right.
And when we think about how we represent ourselves out there, we want people to come in the community. We have to make sure that we keep showing what it says up there, excellence, right? We want to be excellent. We want people to look to us as being that beacon of light.
That's right. That's right.
Keep that going.
That's right. At this point, we're going to bring up the president of Mosque Cares, a brother, inshallah, who I'll be working with, inshallah, in 25 years, president of Mosque Cares, Brother Wallace.
Alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and welcome, everyone. Alhamdulillah. And congratulations for another successful year and helping us reach a milestone of 25 years celebration of this community, of our community life, and the leadership of Imam Deen Mohammed. I'm going to be real brief because we have excellent keynote speaker today. But I just want to ask you all, some of you all would, it would sadden you because I recognize most of the faces here. Everybody, we've got to know you all closely, and many of you, what I miss is your children and a lot of my generation, you know. But most of you all have been around, like Brother Khalid was saying last night, since this morning at the breakfast, since I was a little boy, you know. So alhamdulillah. So I feel that I'm with family, and I feel comfortable expressing myself, you know, just speaking the way I'm speaking to you now. And I know that a lot of you all would feel hurt. It would hurt you if you heard that we incurred some big expense here, and by the look of the numbers, we can't pay we having trouble paying the bills and this and that. You know that that's not the case, and I feel obligated to share that with you because I love you, and I don't want you to go home with that burden or even entertaining that consciously or unconsciously. I asked my treasurer, I asked her, like, when we had these programs, every step of the way, you know, we paying bills, do we pay this bill, how close are we to paying that bill, we need to make a bank deposit, you know, what do we need to do, when will the monies come in for this and that. And alhamdulillah, she told me before the convention started that this venue was paid for. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So alhamdulillah, so the critics, they can take that home with them if they want to, you know, or not, alhamdulillah. But Allah is merciful, and our unity, we're reviving our unity. Yeah, reviving our unity. Yeah, everything needs a breath of life to keep it going, to give it strength, you know. We say we're united, we know we're united, but if you don't maintain something, that's what life is about. This creation, this beautiful creation that Allah, material creation that Allah has given us, that example is everywhere. That things have to be nurtured and taken care of. You know, you don't exercise yourself, your mind, or your muscles, or your relationships, or anything. It's going to deteriorate, no matter how well you preserve it. You can mount it on the highest mountain and put it in the most beautiful golden case or whatever. But if you don't take care of it, time is going to weigh on it. You know. So our unity always needs conventions like this and opportunities. Imam Mohammed told us that we should constantly be looking for opportunities for us to come together. And the legacy of excellence with our what bonds us together, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. That's the legacy of excellence, that the unity that unites all of us as Muslims all around the world. And that is the foundation for our unity. So alhamdulillah, so we must nurture our own responsibility as faith people, as individuals, to ourselves first, and our families and our communities. So alhamdulillah, and I feel really good about the progress. My father, I didn't really understand. I took it as a compliment when he used to tell people that I was well organized and that I took care of things, and I said, yeah, you know, it's in the human nature. Allah says we're the midway community, so it's in human nature for a person to feel uncomfortable when a person focuses on a particular aspect of your personality, even if it's a compliment, you know. So I would feel uncomfortable. I still do. Whenever somebody's talking about, I'm more than that, you know. It's not my ego. It's just that I would feel uncomfortable. But I can see where it is something I should be proud of. It's an asset that since I've accepted this responsibility, it was given to me and I accepted it wholeheartedly. I didn't have to really accept it. I was already devoted to the service of this community, so I had no trouble transitioning into the office as president of the Ministry of Imam Deen Mohammed. Alhamdulillah. And I can see the progress. I can see the progress. And I always appreciate the imams that you all, a lot of times we don't know it and we don't put emphasis on it, that the leadership in our community, they are together. They are very much united on the tafsir of Imam Deen Mohammed. All you have to do is listen to the language and the words and the things that they say, and they all, if you listen to them, they're all on the same page. And that's a great blessing and mercy from Allah, alhamdulillah. And I was reflecting upon the language is different. They may say different things, but Imam Muhammad actually instructed them to do that. They said, you shouldn't be a copy of me. That's what he instructed, all of us. He said that you should take what he gives you and internalize it, and then it should come out of you as you. So alhamdulillah. So on that note, the four elements of the community, the four aspects of our community, the education, business, religion, and culture, I can see the Mosque has made progress in those ways, and it dawned on me that we had all along been following the instruction of our leading teacher and focusing in those directions, but I wasn't consciously aware of it until I came here and I'm thinking about business, you know. And I said, well, we got to get some. We had got a logo. The WDM Publications, I have been the owner of it for well over 20 years, maybe about 25 years, and we never had a logo because we have a market here. And all I have to do is say Imam Deen Mohammed, and that's it. But we have to do better. And alhamdulillah, we finally reached out to a sister in D.C. I don't have her name in front of me, but she's an excellent artist and a professional in her field. And she designed logos and some artwork for this convention that we had. One is the logo of the WDM Publications. And I looked at it and I said, wow. I told my wife, it's not in our catalog yet, but most of you all have a copy of our catalog. We're seeking to update it. So I took some pictures before we came out for the convention, and I took pictures, and I noticed I looked up and I had 3 souvenir cups that I was taking pictures of. And one of them had the Mosque logo, which I didn't have. I actually was asked by the U.S. Council of Muslim Organizations when we were planning our inaugural event if I had a logo, and I said no. And I was seeking to scramble. I wasn't comfortable with things we had used before, but alhamdulillah, our Attorney General, he had someone help assisting him, and he's an excellent designer. He brought this design, several designs, and the one that we use now, I chose it from amongst the several he brought, and it's beautiful. And that was the first mug I got as religion, and then the publications is education, and several months, last year sometime, we got one for your products, which is our business interest. And I said, now all we need is one for the cultural interest. And I said, alhamdulillah. I said, wow. Then I thought, what do I put on a mug, if I get a mug or a logo or something, to represent the cultural aspect? And immediately, it was obvious, New Africa. New Africa. And Imam Mohammed that's evident that he had prepared us for this future that we have now. And that's what we have to do. I don't carry the same talents or attributes or even aspirations, the things that Imam Mohammed saw fit for him to be and use the talents Allah blessed him with to use in service to this community are different from those that I have. But there's there's opportunity and room for each one of us and our talents to express ourselves in those communities, in our community. So if you have business interests, if you have religious interests, education interests, or cultural interests, you should be looking at our community and trying to figure out where do you fit in and how can you help to increase the life and the beauty of this community. And one thing that Imam Mohammed said that's so valuable to me is that most people are challenged. Well, challenges are good. Most people are challenged when they think of how do I make it in this society without the resources. If I have a business, I need a store, I need a shop, I need a client base, I need a product. Well, when you are part of a community like this, you are the product. Whatever talents you present that product, and you got all of these expenses and all of these things. They're covered when you look at community and the community life, and you're in the community life. Imam Mohammed said something that stuck with me. He said, we are a market. We have a market, and for a businessman, that's everything. That's what the capitalists are looking for. What's the next market? Where's the new market? And we know who we've been the market for anybody that set foot on these shores or on the shores of North America, or anywhere you can find us. You know, we are the commodity, you know. And they set up shop and get some wealth. So we have to remember the wise words that Imam Mohammed has given us. And many of our men and entrepreneurs that came up through the ranks of the Nation of Islam and were trained, and the women also trained to be independent and financially independent in business. So alhamdulillah. So that's the business aspect of it. I've been self-employed, alhamdulillah. Pay my taxes. Never had any problem with my taxes. And I have debt, but no debt like you think. I have a mortgage on my house, and that's about it as far as debt. The properties that I manage are probably well over $1 million in properties, and it's not none of your business what they are or where they are, but I'm responsible for them, and I don't feel that they're mine. I feel that I'm the responsible one for it. You know, and I told my father that a long time ago. I said, Dad, I don't care who owned it. It doesn't matter. If you give me the responsibility, I'm going to take care of it as though I owned it. You see? So we have to stop looking at the ownership and look at service. Alhamdulillah. And that's what I'm about. I'm about serving the needs and being loyal to those responsibilities that I've been given. And I believe that's what I credit most to my success as a man, a young man, a businessman, an entrepreneur, and a father and a family man. I credit that I always give Allah credit for the ownership. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I think I'm seeing a man that I've admired from afar enter in the room. One of our honored guests is coming in. Yes, Paul Vallis. And welcome. Well, I'm done. I'm looking forward to our keynote speaker, and I'd like to greet Paul Vallis.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, introduce yourself. Okay, thank you.
At this point, we would like to bring forth Sister Sohar Omar. She is the liaison for the governor of Pat Quinn for the Muslim community. Sister Sohar.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum. Again, my name is Sohar Omar, and Paul and I, we're here on behalf of Governor Pat Quinn. For those of you who do not know Paul, he is a nationwide education policy expert. He has headed up some of the toughest, some of the largest school districts in the country, including Bridgeport, Connecticut, New Orleans, Philadelphia, and of course, Chicago. He has even, that's right, he has even helped to improve the school systems in Haiti and Sudan. That speaks volumes of his character and compassion in this area. So without further ado, sisters and brothers, please join me in welcoming our candidate for Lieutenant Governor, Paul Vallis.
Thank you very much. Greetings, all of you. It's a pleasure to be here. I had an opportunity when I was superintendent of the Chicago Public Schools to establish a great relationship with all the great faith communities, because I've often said that our schools cannot be isolated in their own communities. And any time our schools can partner with the great faith-based institutions, those schools are going to thrive. And so I had the pleasure of interacting with the community and working with the community and supporting the community during my term as superintendent of the Chicago Public Schools. I also had the pleasure and the honor of strongly advocating in support of the religious rights of Muslims to open a mosque in my father-in-law's town of Palos Heights many years ago. You all remember that fight about 12 years ago. And that was before I was running for political office. As a grandson of Greek American immigrants, I am living testimony of what the American dream is about. But I am also a product of a country whose great strength is its diversity, because we are a country of immigrants. We are a country where people have come here from all over the world, bringing their energy and their values and their commitment and their faith in not only their futures, but the future of their children. And diversity is our great strength, and our recognition of what all can contribute to this country that we call the United States of America is so critical. And we have to respect the diversity. It's America's great strength. It gives us our energy. It gives us our dynamism. It gives us our creativity. And so I'm here today to talk about that and to thank your community for the contributions that you are making. Not only the contributions that you're making to our community, but the contributions that you're making to your community by taking responsibility for your children. Because I often say that the most important contribution we can make to our community is to raise our children right, is to make sure that our children have a proper education, to make sure that our children grow up with a sense of values, to make sure that our children grow up with a sense of tolerance and appreciation of other people's rights, to make sure that our children show the respect to others that they want and are entitled to and demand of others. So that's what it's about. So, I don't think no community is going to say that they've outperformed or outinvested your community when it comes to investing and committing to the future of your children. So I just want to applaud you and congratulations for taking responsibility for that. I'm not going to talk about any other candidates here because this is the forum to do that. But I'm going to say that just as I have always felt, based on my background and my upbringing, I've always felt a connection with all the diverse communities because I'm so much a part of the melting pot, so to speak. But I'm fortunate in that I'm running with a candidate, with a governor, who also shares my values. So I should say I share his values. Someone who also has a record of accomplishment. When you look at what the governor has done, and the governor just doesn't, the governor is just not about rhetoric. The governor is about action. We have always been action people. Actions speak louder than words, and Governor Quinn has always been a man of action, a person of action. His actions have always spoken louder than his words. He has always been a very modest man about what he's accomplished, and I believe that he has demonstrated his commitment to the community through his actions. Through his creation of the Muslim American Advisory Council, the first public body of its kind in the nation. His appointment of a number of qualified Muslim Americans to numerous state boards and commissions and task forces and councils, including but not limited to the Council of Aging and the Language Access Task Force. Through his hosting of employment recruitment workshops with the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago in order to increase Muslim American participation in the workforce. Through his issuance of this cultural sensitivity guide to all state employees to make them sensitive to Islamic and respectful to Islamic practices. And in his support not only for the DREAM Act at the federal level, but through Illinois' enacting of its own version of the DREAM Act, so that the children of immigrants have access to higher education. You know, I used to say when I ran the Chicago Public Schools, and people used to talk about immigrants, or are these children, legally entitled to an education and things like that. When it comes to caring for the children, we have a responsibility. We educate the children first, and then we let other people worry about those questions. Because the children, they are everyone's children. The community has a responsibility for the children, regardless of where the children are coming from. We have a responsibility to care for those and to help those who cannot care and cannot help themselves. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for the privilege of addressing you today. I look forward to immersing myself in the community once we're in public office. Since my departure from the Chicago Public Schools, as was pointed out, I've worked on some really troubled areas and some real challenging environments, having gone to Philadelphia after that district fiscally collapsed, and after Katrina, going to work 4 years of rebuilding the schools in Katrina, and of course after the earthquakes in Haiti and in Chile, going down there and working in those countries. In fact, I'm a reluctant flyer, and as somebody said, you can't get to Haiti by boat. You can't, believe me. So I quickly had to overcome I just did a lot of heavy praying before I got into the airplane. I'm a very reluctant flyer. But actually going there almost 50 times, because, at the end of the day, when our time here on earth is over, we all want to feel that we've contributed something, that we've made a contribution, that we've made a mark, that we've made a difference. And for me, public service has been the only thing that I have ever wanted to do. But again, I want to salute you all. God bless all of you. Good health to all of you. And I look forward to supporting and working with the community as you build a future for your children. Thank you so much.